You're such an asshole.
So the title isn't related necessarily to the topic, but it was kind of funny because the video I just did, the guy says, ain't got no wife, ain't got no kids, ain't got no that. What do I do with my $600,000 of money? And his options were, do I travel overseas? Do I buy a condo? Do I get a luxury apartment? I'm not kidding. Go look it up. The previous video to this. Well, here I got another request. Please call me M. Hello, asshole. I'm a 32-year-old black male, and my stats are you work in the airline industry. I don't want to identify you too much. 30,000 in liquid cash, Roth 401k and IRA with a combined balance of 50,000. 5'10, 205, lost 80 pounds in the past several years. That's great, man. 5'10, 205. You're almost at ideal. And I'll tell you this, you probably doubled your life expectancy. And you also improved the life you have. I mean, okay, fine. You not only did you double your life expectancy, you made that double life expectancy way more enjoyable than what it was before, being a rascal driving piece of shit in Walmart. The one that got in my way. I don't know, maybe you didn't wear him. Maybe you did the waddle. Fat people all do that. That initial step waddle. Because, us not fat people just step. The fat people got to wind up and pitch. They got to move their hip to get that, and then they waddle down like that. You ain't a waddler no more, sir. You're healthier. You're happier. Look at that. Hobbies, gym, video games, sports. No kids, no girlfriend, no wife, debt free. The exact same. With 2 cars I paid cash for. Where does the money come from? I don't know. Other choices and variables and traits of the people who got the money and those who don't. I wonder if is there a theme here? Are there some variables that are consistent and correlate with men who have stable finances? Now, he doesn't have 600,000 like the other guy. He ain't got no debt. He's got 2 cars paid off. He's got a 401k and an IRA, so he's got enough money to contribute to both. And 30,000 liquid cash. Where have all the good men gone? Where are they? Can't find them. And here's his options. This is his menu in life, okay? Gym, video games, sports. No wife, 2 cars. Still live with my mother. However, I pay half the mortgage here because it's cheaper than a 1-bedroom apartment in Charlotte, North Carolina at the moment. Good for you, man. Good for you. Help out Ma. Aaron, I had no role models growing up, and honestly, yourself, Coach Greg Adams, and Red Pill content saved my man. Good to hear. But at 32 years old, I believe I'm still young. You are. But I'm far gone from being a kid. I do enjoy my job. The pay is solid. I'm not miserable here. Hold on to that then. You got a job you like? Okay, there you go. Hold on to that. That is very rare. That's about as rare as finding a nice, sweet, peaceful woman who's sexy and likes to have sex and is just going to be tradition. I mean, those two, dude, you could get those 2 things, a job you enjoy, and a sweet, nice, kind, traditional wife or girlfriend or whatever. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than that. I have no desire to become an entrepreneur or some influencer. I would just like to ask someone such as yourself, who has a hell of a lot more life experience than me, one question. How am I doing so far? A video would be much appreciated. Thank you, sir, for everything you do. Well, let me give everyone a little bit of this is where some economic data would come in. I think it's the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Maybe it's the Department of Labor. The government somewhere collects data on income for different age groups between men and women. So if you wanted to, I don't know where it is, but you want to look up search terms like median income by age cohort, median income, men, women, age. If you're going to look at income as one of these several metrics, I would say, not the only one, that would determine how you're doing. Generally, though, I'd say your income is probably the most important in telling bit of data or statistic about how you're doing, but it's not the only one. Other things you can look at is your weight. All right. Now, unless you're built like a tank, you're 5'10", you're 205. You got to lose a little bit of weight. However, you know, compared to everyone else, 70% of people are overweight, including young people. How many men do you know go to the gym? How many men your age do you know that has a 401k and an IRA? And then another one, the other big one, we looked at income. Now let's talk about wealth. And at younger people's ages, wealth is not so much the main metric to use because, well, you're young. You haven't had time to build up the wealth. I get a kick out of all these whiny little bitchy Marxist little Kuantahahi Zoomers, millennial journalists. Oh my God, the baby boomers have all the wealth in the world and the young people have nothing. It's like, yeah, that's how it goes. You 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 just got out of college. You've literally never worked a day in your life. Yeah, you don't got no money. Yeah, that's how it goes, dumbass. Not you, sir. I'm talking to uh, but whereas you don't have any wealth, the real measurement, you ain't got no debt, man. You ain't got no debt. Now, how much we want to weight these variables? Me being a minimalist, I would weigh that tremendously. I would say that you could look at your income. You probably make slightly more than the average man your age. Um, and your union, so you probably got some perks and benefits there as well. Your savings is certainly higher than the average person. The fact you have no debt, dude, you're blowing away like, hang on, let's just look it up. Let's just look it up to give you statistical perspective. What percent of Americans have no debt? Around 23% of Americans are debt free, according to most recent data on the Federal Reserve. Factors in every type: debt, credit cards, students, and mortgages. And I bet you that's all old people. If you looked at young people, it's got to be in the single digits of people who don't have debt, just because it's very hard to get by. Yeah, there's nothing about age ranges here. So, unadjusted for age, you're already in the top 25% in terms of that metric. If we adjusted for age, you're definitely in the top 10. Definitely in the top 10%. And then otherwise, I mean, so just if I'm just looking at quote your resume here, yeah, it's all depends on, well, how are we going to score this? Like, how do we put a score on it? But I'd say you're definitely overall a top 10% man. Now, you're overweight. Not a lot, but you're overweight a little bit. Again, unless you're built like a tank, you're just completely jacked. How much weight you want to put into that, how much weight, how important that is to your life to get women to be attracted to you. All right, maybe top 15% because you're a little bit overweight. Uh, but I don't know if I would consider young women's opinions and their current day, frankly, delusional expectations and standard. Like, they're a pretty harsh critic right now. And you never listen to a delusional judge. You're excelling. I would say not only are you succeeding, you are excelling. Just based on numbers that have nothing to do with opinion or anything else like that. If you want to throw the curveball of women in your life, if you want to get with girls, that's an important aspect. All right, you're still in the top 15, definitely 20%, but that's not good enough by girls' standard, right? Because you don't have, and this is the Lulu world, okay? You don't have a sexy job. You got a good job, it pays, it's union, but you don't have a sexy job. You're a little bit overweight. You're not 6 feet tall. Most girls on paper, like, no, this is the guy. This is good old reliable Charlie. This is the guy you should be looking at. No. But that's a different, in other words, success with women. Oh, look at this profound shit I'm about to say. Never confuse success with women with success in life. Huh? Look at that. Somebody fucking write it down. I need a scribe. I need a scribe. Yeah, man, you're doing great. I'm not kissing your ass. I'm telling you because, like, dude, think about this. If everyone was like you, not that they all worked the same job you did, would we have any financial troubles? Hmm? Would there be any troubles? There wouldn't be any troubles because you're a reliable, responsible, self-supporting adult. And that's exceptionally rare, especially at your age, people under 40. Um, there's always room for improvement. Yeah, you could lose a little bit of weight. I had a question here, but before I go on to that, yeah, no, it is correlated. I guess the only question I would have is if you have some life goals you'd like to achieve before you die. And that's the one thing young people fail to put together because you just focus on survival. And that'd be the only thing I'd add to overall your strategy in terms of your value is okay, you've worked hard, you got a stable life. Well, what are you going to do with it now? You can't just be working it all the time. That'd be the only thing I would add to it. Now, you do have some hobbies. What was it? Gym, video games, sports are good. You play sports. Is there something unique you wanted to do? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but everyone plays video games. People used to play sports. Was there something really weird you want to do? Like, did you want to, I don't know, grow honeybees? What is it? Do you have a bucket list? And I say that more for your benefit to make sure you enjoy and maximize your life. You put in all this hard work. You should start going into the enjoyment phase. That's the main reason I'd say it. But people with hobbies and activities and accomplishments, which can be fun, which can be hobbies, it doesn't have to be work all the time. They tend to be, I would say, more interesting people. And I say if we were to like, am I succeeding in life? If we're going to use that, I'd say that should be a component part of the overall score. Okay, what are you doing to make? Are you motorcycle riding? Are you doing what you want to do? Do you go hiking? I mean, those are my things that I do. I'd start, well, what's the stuff I want to do so that when you die, you don't have any regrets and then you become an interesting person. Uh, because, yes, nothing wrong with video games, sports, or whatever the other thing. The gym, absolutely nothing wrong with that stuff. But okay, what else? Are you good? Like Nuke, he's a salsa dancer. Okay, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of color. Um, so yeah, that's more for your benefit. But interesting people are uh, more successful, judged more favorably by society. You take someone who's a salsa dancer like Nuke, or someone who isn't a salsa dancer like Nuke. They're going to go, he's a salsa dancer. That's interesting. There's somebody who's a expert on British history and can speak competently about. I know it's obscure, it's not sexy, but that's more interesting than the person who is not. So whatever hobbies or interests you have, that'd be about the only thing I add. And you said, funny you asked. Look at this. Because I just wrote them down a few nights ago. Retirement, 60 years old. My personal retirement number is 2 million, 6 months, million a month asset. Both parents are over 60 and still active. They're together? Purchasing my dream car. Oh, no. No. No on to it. Oh. 2, purchasing my dream car. Yes, Aaron, I want a stupid car. A blacked out Chevy Camaro SS. Are we talking the old school ones or the new ones? Um, okay, so they got a new one. If you were now, okay, it's personal choice. If you were talking an old school like 60s Camaro, I'd be like, okay, all right. If you want to get a new one, fine. You ain't got no wife, you ain't got no kids, you ain't got no debt. You owe nobody nothing. If you can afford it, doesn't affect your retirement, I will allow you. I approve. You're granted permission. But I have a feeling you're gonna wait. I will save up the cash and pay in full. Okay, good. Travel. This will be easy with the flying benefits from work. I want to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in as many countries as possible. Okay, good. 4, own my own place, of course. I do not have the desire to purchase a home because I do not want the headache of financial pit of home ownership. Renting a house studio as long as I can do shit, shower, shave, and play my video games. All right, it's possible. Me and Craig got to get off our asses and put together and alternatives to housing course because there is you don't all have to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath and mortgage your future for the next 40 years. It there is a way to do it, especially for bachelors and bachelorettes. But I don't know if this is a product of me watching too much sports for me, just being a soft ass millennial. Well, let's talk about this here now. With the car, have you ever driven one first? Why don't you go rent? I gave the exact same advice to the guy before. He wanted to live in some fancy high-end apartment on the top floor. I said, don't sign a year lease, just rent that for like an Airbnb for 2 weeks. Why don't you go rent an SS Camaro for 3 days, see how it goes. And then you may like, oh no, I don't want this one. So I would definitely do that. That'd be a wise expenditure of your money. And then you'd know. You'd be like, oh yeah, I don't maybe you get like a real car like a Mustang. I just I kid. There's a shirt out there and I ordered it. I'm gonna get it for my dad too, because he likes John Wick. And it says, because John Wick didn't kill all those people over a Camaro. Oh, it's good. Uh, I just have this voice in the back of my head telling me that what you're doing isn't enough. No, you do no. Look, dude, if you support yourself, that's all you have, like literally, your only obligation to society and the rest of the world is to support yourself and not be a parasite. After that, doesn't matter what you do. Uh, That's fine. Like, for example, Chris Beckloff, right? He's older than you. He is not working anywhere near his potential, but he doesn't have to. His mom left him and his dad. Him and his dad are kind of like roommates. I think he literally works at a box factory. He makes his paltry amount, and then him and his dad just live together. And he plays his video games. He enjoys his nerd culture and does his podcast. The Beckloff, look him up. He is not taking government checks. He's not. I need a student loan bailout. Blah blah. Soft ass millennial. What? You have retirement savings and you have goals and you don't have debt. You're not. You didn't go to college and expect a bailout. How are you a millennial? I might have to make you an honorary member of Gen X. Almost. Yeah. You're the only way I could see you having a concern that you're not doing enough is probably more of an unconscious. It's not that you're not doing enough, but are you enjoying and living life enough? Are you really making your life count? Which is different than, am I a contributing member to society doing enough? And I think if you need me to tell you, yeah, if think about it that way, if everyone were you, would we have financial problems? No, we would not. So if you could put that to rest, understanding you are a contributing member to society, you are doing enough in that regard. Are you doing enough to live your life to its best so that when you die, you will have no regrets? That's a different question. And you are active and you are working, but you're getting right at the point where, okay, money's starting to add. Where did the money come from? Why is there this pile of money here? How did that happen? And why are my married friends who are divorced with 3 kids from 5 different baby daddies, why do they not have a pile of money in their house? They got a nice car, but that's got a mortgage and a lease on it. I wonder where the money where they must hide their pile of money. I think it's maybe more like you're not pursuing your bucket list, which is why you probably put it together, say, "Hey, what do I wanna do next?" So once you go and do a couple of these things, I think that will go away. But yeah, you're fine, man. Um, so retirement, that's gonna be down the road. Purchasing dream car, that's down the road. Travel, all right, you can start traveling. I'd do it. Yeah, if you got the benefits, go do it, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Go travel. Hop on a plane, get back. I bet you get pretty good rental deals with cars too and hotels maybe. Oh yeah. I That's where I'd put my time. If you get some free time, I totally would be doing that. I got a buddy who's a pilot. Fucking irony. He hasn't visited once yet. I'm like, you can literally fly for free anywhere in the world, and your airline actually comes to Rapid City. Will you hop on a fucking plane and come visit? and own my own place. That's a good goal too, but I think you need to come up with something that you can do now that is affordable. Um, Retirement, that's work. Purchasing a home, that's work. The Camaro, that's later. Although you could put in the work and just go rent one right now, try it for 3 days and see how you feel. The travel, that would be where I'd sink most of my teeth in. You need another thing, like, do you wanna ever get into, like, distilling booze? Like a hobby? Something something that ain't gonna break the bank, but something a little bit more crafty. About the only thing I could add. But no, man, you're fine. You're fine. Top 10% nominally, top 20, 15% when it comes to girls if you wanna play that game. But yeah, and maybe just running into that thing like, okay, I'm surviving and I'm stable. What do I do now? A lot of people don't get to that point in life because they're always in debt or they got stupid degrees or, most of humanity. That's what, boy, I hope we get to eat. So you may be facing a little bit of an existential thing. Oh, and then if you need a list, go get the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. Not to say you wouldn't find women, but there's a whole list of things that you could pursue in life. I want to give that a shot. All right, any super chats? Wiz the Visit Productions, $2. I'm hearing it must be nice comments more and more. You know what? Fuck those people. The people, I'm not kidding. Wizda, I wish I was joking, and you know it, because you're in the same situation. Must be nice. We can't all be like you. I want to punch them. I want to break them in and just throttle them down on the ground like, how the fuck do you think I got here, you lazy sack of shit? It must be nice. I haven't heard that in a while. Um, but the next time, I think I'm going to owe it to myself. The next time someone says that, I'm going to be polite. I'm not going to grab them or commit violence. I'm like, actually, it wasn't nice. I just busted my ass off for a long time. You don't see that. But now it is nice. But you're a lazy sack of shit and you think this is just luck, like a typical piece of shit American. Do you need a rascal at Walmart? Did you foresee that in your life? And it's people like you who never work and don't put in the effort, who think it's just nice or can't all be like you. It's like, no, you chose not to be like me. You chose to be a lazy sack of shit. And then see, because Americans are pussies now, they won't do anything. And just to have that in a social setting and then like go back to eating my steak or drinking my coffee or whatever, just like matter of fact. And oh, and by the way, if you touch me, I'll break your face and you'll be in the hospital. And then it won't be so nice. Oh, 5N4K 3DORK, $2. Amazon selling tiny homes now. Good choice for guys. You gotta do your research. So this thing called Blocks, BLOX, that I guess they haven't even sold a house yet. I guess that's more of a scam now. Like they're trying, it's in a trial and development stage. I don't know. Amazon selling their tiny homes. Maybe they're legit. You got to do your research, and not like, oh, it's got 4.6 stars. No, go on the YouTubes, find out. I am rapidly, because I've increased my carpentry skills. I'm rapidly of the opinion of just building it yourself or getting a tough shed and then retrofitting it, putting in insulation, having a plumber and an electrician come in and wire it. Or even quicker fix than that would be an RV. But your main hurdle there is the codes and zoning ordinances set up typically by Karens. So if you could find a house, or I'm sorry, if you could find a piece of property that has water, whether it's a well, um, gas, or a wood burning stove, like you're really going to have to do it yourself. You really have, as long as you can find the land that allows you to build what you want, you can do it. You can get solar panels, all right? If it's a small little home, wood burning stove, small one, heat up the house, build some kind of frame or structure. I mean, you can do that. A lot of the stuff you can do yourself. And okay, let's say you spent $16,000 on his shed and 30,000 retro. So let's say it's 50 grand you spend on just building a one bedroom mother-in-law studio apartment slash house, like a small one bedroom house. All right, that's 50 grand. Let's say you didn't do the roof right or something's wrong. And over the course of 15 years, it falls apart. Well, 50 grand for what is that? How much did you save? That's not it. Sorry about that. All right, 50,000 divided by 180 months. It's $278, $280 a month that you spent. Where are you going to find housing that cheap? So even if it was kind of like disposable, semi-permanent, medium-term housing, if it lasts you a decade plus, okay, fine. And I got to imagine if you can get the permits and they allow you to build your shack in the woods, over time you'd improve. Oh, there's a leak there. Oh, I did the roof a little bit wrong. Okay, I'll go back and repair that. That's the stuff I would be looking at. Where in the olden days, men would actually build their own homes. They didn't last forever, but they didn't have to. So I'd be a little suspicious of these Amazon prefabricated homes unless there is very thorough research. Like, yeah, they work or they last. And then the other alternative is like, okay, for 20 grand in supplies or a $16,000 shed, put down a concrete pad or some kind of foundation, put that on top, run wire, run. I've also thought about Quonset huts. I always wanted to have a Quonset hut when I was younger. A buddy of mine lived in a Quonset hut. There's that. That's another option. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. I'll see you. Oh, link below. Bachelor Pad Economics and Achieving Financial Excellence. You guys are looking to get financially stable like this guy. Going, one's a course, one's a book. Depends on when you want to sit and read or you just want to take in a course. Achieving Financial Excellence, available on Teachable, and Bachelor Pad Economics, the Financial Advice Bible for Men. Link below. We'll see you guys later, too.